10 years it took me to finally get out of the loop of healing. And I just want to say that I don't think that those 10 years were useless. I think for me, it was part of my journey. Everything happens for us. There's always a reason behind everything. I believe that I needed to go through these 10 years of healing, of learning and experiencing all these different modalities. But I also believe that maybe for you, if you're listening to this video could be it for you. At some point, I landed on a video and it just expanded my mind, and I was like, I don't need to heal anymore. I am perfection. I am all that is. I am perfectly fine the way I am, and it's my job to stop thinking of my reality as a broken, unhealed reality that isn't deserving of what I am dreaming of. For me, these videos were, I'm gonna say his name because you are deserving and should go watch his content. He's amazing. Eric, and the channel is called The Power of I Am. And there's also something that my massage therapist told me that made me unclick at some point, and that was just the dismantling of my healing era. At some point when I was in my appointment with my massage therapist, and I was talking about how, you know, I've been on that journey for 10 years and I still feel like things are blocked and still feel like some things are challenging and whatnot. And she was like, well, you know, sometimes we gotta stop thinking of why things aren't working out and why things are happening to us, and we just have to start living life, and we just have to start acting accordingly and just go for things that we want, and that's it. And I was like, damn, she's so right. And it's the same for healing a loving relationship. Let's say you're uncomfortable with touch, with physical touch, because you've lived abuse or neglect in your childhood. There's no point into learning all the attachment styles and learning why is that so and why did you come to be this way. You need to actually start implementing physical touch in your life again. Start gently, you know, hold the hand of someone that you trust and hold their hand as long as you can, and then the next day you'll try something else a little bit longer, and you just progressively go like this and expose yourself to what you want and become comfortable and safe in that feeling. And what this guy has been saying in his videos, on the other hand, because I feel like there's two components to this. There's a somatic bodily component, because our bodies do hold memories, and there's an identity component. And he talks about identity and how we are the ones constantly creating a reality from the believed identity that we have on a day-to-day basis. If every day you wake up and you say, life is so hard, life is unfair, it's just the way it is, you know, my grandma told me and that's just the way it is. Well, damn right, life is unfair and life is hard, because you believe that, and you keep creating the circumstances in your life that match this reality. And there is science that actually proves that our brains are very selective, that when, for example, you buy a new car from a certain make and model, and you're going to start seeing that make and model everywhere, and this is just because now it has entered your awareness. And the same goes for everything that you're trying to manifest in your life, and you're manifesting constantly without even knowing, and you're manifesting negative things too, and the things that you don't want, but you are creating those circumstances in your life and these outcomes. And so hopefully, I really pray that this video reaches you and makes you click out of this lie that we've been told that we constantly need to heal. That if you've been on a journey of healing for a while, I invite you to start looking at the way you talk about yourself, the way you talk about your reality on a daily basis. What is the self-speech that you hold every day? What are the affirmations that you say without even being aware of it? What is the first thing that you do and say when you wake up in the morning? Do you reach out for your phone? Do you scroll? Do you compare yourself to others? Do you dwell on the fact that you don't yet have the lifestyle that influencer has, and you're like feeling sad for yourself? Because this is what truly makes a difference in one's life. Anyhow, I wanted to keep that video short, so I'll stop it there. But I'm really inviting you to visit these two aspects, the identity and somatic work. What does your body still believe? Because at some point, that's what happened to me. I really started believing it in my head, and I was sure, confident, and secure in my identity and believing that I am that I am. But my body sometimes reacts and would react faster than my identity could catch up to. Even though the identity is there all the time, at all times, it is there, it's all that is, it's I am. I would find myself lashing at my partner, for example, because he would say something that would trigger me, an old part of myself that still felt attacked and unsafe. And that is a signal that at some point they go hand in hand, identity work and somatic work, where your body needs to catch up to that belief as well. Your body needs to believe it as well, that you are safe in, being worthy of safe love, of all the love languages that you believe you deserve. And to deprogram the default programming that is just there to protect you and that lashes to defend you, and to reprogram yourself so that when that XYZ person triggers you, that the new neural pathways and the new ways that you've programmed yourself with react for you instead of the default basic program. And that'll look like not reacting and looking at that person and simply telling to yourself in your head, wow, you know what, I love it when my person is patient with me, and I'm so grateful that my person is so soft and contained when I throw a little bit of a tantrum and I'm feeling overwhelmed, and they're just there like a rock, like an anchor for me. I'm so lucky, so privileged. And you don't react in real life. You don't lash. You don't defend yourself. You don't justify, because you are all that is. You don't have to justify. Does a rich person have to justify an expensive purchase? No. Well, you don't have to justify being worthy of being treated the way you believe you're worthy of being treated. And so, on that note, this ends this video. I hope that it brought clarity and that it opened up parts of your brain like it did for me. And if you liked it, follow, subscribe, like, and share, and stay tuned for more.